everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to sit down and just talk you through my very basic everyday makeup routine. I am way too lazy to get out of bed and spend 30 plus minutes in the morning getting ready, so I can typically put all of my makeup on in about 10 minutes. It wears well throughout the day, it's nice and hydrated looking, and it's very easy, so let's get into it. Alright, so first step is primer, and I have two. One is more for longevity and then one is more for smoothing. So the first primer is for longevity, and I use the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. Mine is pink and it has niacinamides in it. There's also a blue one that doesn't have niacinamides, and I've used both and I've never noticed a difference. So whatever one you can find easier, just pick that one up. So this is a kind of tacky consistency, and it will grip onto your skin and help your makeup grip on top of it. So it just helps your makeup last better throughout the day. And if you have tried and you like the Milk Hydro Grip Primer from Sephora, this is basically the exact same product, and it's about $8 to $10. Then the second primer is the NYX Marshmallow Primer. Mine's missing the top and it looks a little bit worse for the wear, but this is a kind of thick, fluffy consistency that reminds me of like marshmallow fluff that people put in desserts, and it actually smells really nice. But it's really hydrating and smoothing. And for this, I just focus it in my T-zone. So kind of right here in the pores, I put a little bit on my nose, I put a little bit under my eyes to kind of help my concealer a little bit smoother. And then I always put a little bit up here, kind of right in between my eyebrows. For some reason, is anyone else like this? But for some reason, like this part of my forehead looking smooth is like oddly important to me. So I go in with the Power Grip Primer first, and I really kind of press that into my skin and give it a few seconds to get tacky and set before I go in with anything else. And then I go in with the Marshmallow Primer just in the T-zone. After primer, I use foundation, and I have two that I'll kind of just switch back and forth between throughout the week, just whatever I'm feeling. So either the Misha Perfect Cover BB Cream in the shade 21, or the L'Oreal Age Perfect Serum Foundation in the shade 10 Ivory. With the Misha Perfect Cover BB Cream, it's a BB cream, so it's lighter coverage, but it's very lightweight and easy to wear throughout the day, and it almost just feels like a tinted moisturizer, like you don't really have much on your skin. I find that it wears beautifully throughout the day. If any of it does wear off, it's not super noticeable either. You don't like see patches missing like you would in a fuller coverage foundation. And the other thing about this, it's got a really gray undertone to it when it comes out of the bottle, which don't let that scare you. It's actually a great thing because it neutralizes redness and it keeps your foundation from getting like an orange or yellowy tint throughout the day. And then the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation has a little bit more coverage. So this one's closer to like medium coverage, and it's actually a little bit more glowy. So like I said, I kind of just throw on whatever one I'm feeling that day, but they're both great options. I put both of these on with my fingers. I'll usually just kind of put a pump on my finger and then press it on my face. And after it's all smoothed out, I'll take my kind of dry sponge and press it into my skin. Just make sure everything's really smooth. I use the Bobbi Brown Under Eye Corrector. It's just kind of this little pot that you dip your finger in. Again, you can tell I really love this thing. I've definitely hit pan on that, but I use it pretty much every day. So this isn't a crazy full coverage concealer or anything like that. It's similar to the foundations that I wear, very lightweight, very easy to wear throughout the day. It's not gonna cover crazy amounts of stuff, but it's enough just to kind of brighten the under eye and get rid of any like dark shadows. It's very easy to put on. I just kind of dip my finger in and then pop it under my eye, and away I go. Next up is eyeliner. To be honest with you, there are a lot of days where I don't even put eyeliner on. Just some mornings I cannot be bothered, but I wanted to at least show you what I use when I do wear eyeliner because it's pretty great and I love this eyeliner. I've bought the same one like 3 times now. So This is the Sephora 12-Hour Colorful Crayon, and I use the shade Tiramisu, so it's like a really deep brown instead of a full-on black. It basically looks black on the eye. You can't really tell that it's brown, but I find that it's just like a tad bit softer since it's a brown over a black. And I wanted to give you a little tip too. To apply my eyeliner, I use this powder puff, and this is kind of what I use to pull my eye out and draw my eyeliner on. If you're able to put eyeliner on successfully without pulling your eye out like that, good for you, but I still have not figured out how to do that. However many years I've been doing my makeup, I have to pull my eye out to get a really good line. So if you're like me and you have to do that, try taking a powder puff and pulling your eye. It just kind of saves you from like using your finger and putting a dent in that foundation that you've already put on. Another eyeliner tip that I wanted to mention just really quickly, if you're someone that has trouble with your eyeliner smudging throughout the day, especially if you have more oily skin, make sure you powder kind of your eyelid and then right outside of your eyelid, like where your wing extends to, really well before you apply your eyeliner. And that'll just kind of make sure that your eyeliner is not slipping around throughout the day. And then sometimes if you have like really oily skin, you can powder, then apply the eyeliner, and then take more powder and kind of go around it and just make sure that it's really like powdered in that area so it doesn't slide around. I don't do my powder personally until after my blush and bronzer and everything is on, so we'll come back to that in a little bit, but I just wanted to throw that tip in there. So after eyeliner, that's when I go in with my bronzer. I use the Tower 28 Sculptino bronzer, and then to apply it, I use a little e.l.f. contour putty blush. I stick to pretty much all cream products when it comes to blush, bronzer, highlight, that type of thing. I find that it just looks a little bit better on the skin. It's more hydrating and it lasts better for me throughout the day. So for bronzer, I just stick to right underneath my cheekbone, a little bit in the temple, and then every now and then I put it kind of up here on my forehead. Like today when I'm wearing a headband, I'll put it up here because there's more space with my hair pulled back. But if my hair is down, then I don't bother with putting it on my forehead. I go in with blush, and kind of similar to foundation, I have two that I'll switch back and forth between throughout the week. So I either use the Milani Cheap Kiss in the 110 Nude Kiss, and this is just kind of a very basic cream blush, or I use the NARS liquid blush. And since this is a liquid, I find that it lasts just a little bit better than a cream one because it goes on liquid and then it dries onto your skin and it stays on very well throughout the day. And this actually has like almost a little bit of highlighter or shimmer in it, and it just makes your cheek look super dewy and beautiful. I love this stuff. This is definitely more expensive than the Milani one, but I've had this for a long time and barely made a dent in it. You need just the tiniest amount, so this will probably last me forever. To apply them, I use the Real Techniques 449 brush. I'm gonna go in with the NARS liquid blush just so you can kind of see just how pretty it is. As you kind of saw, I always take a sponge, just a dry sponge, both after my bronzer and after my blush, and I'll make sure to smooth out any lines and press them into the skin. And then especially after both bronzer and blush are on, I like to take it and kind of make sure everything's really blended together. But here is that blush, so you can really see like how glowy it looks on my skin. It's got a really nice shimmer to it, and you definitely don't need highlighter if you're wearing this one, so it kind of works as two products in one. Next, I go in with powder. I have two that I'll kind of go back and forth between depending on what my skin is looking like that day. If I need a little bit more coverage, like if I'm tired and my dark circles are showing a little bit more, then I go in with a powder foundation, and I use the e.l.f. Camo powder foundation. So since it's a powder foundation, it has more coverage to it. If I don't need the coverage, then I usually will go in with the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder. This is a loose powder and it's translucent, but it's a like luminous translucent powder, so it has little light reflecting shimmer to it, so it just kind of makes your skin powdered, but not like dry powder looking. It tends to look a little bit more glowy even with the powder on top. So my skin's looking fine today. I don't need the extra coverage, so I'm gonna go in with the loose setting powder, the Halo Glow powder. And I always kind of just take a little bit, tap it on the lid, and then I'll tap it back in because you don't want much. And then I'll take my little powder puff, kind of swirl it in here, and then I put it on the back of my hand actually to kind of warm it up. And then I just go in and press it where I need it. So mostly on the T-zone. I try to avoid putting powder all over my face, just it kind of dries out your skin and it's not necessary. So I just focus it right here where my pores are, kind of underneath my eye to set any concealer, and then right on my nose. Let me kind of zoom you guys in a little bit so you can see what that powder looks like. So it just is enough to like blur the skin out and kind of blur out those pores and smooth out the under eyes, but it keeps that nice glow that I had going on already underneath the powder. Next step is setting spray. There is no better setting spray in the world, I promise you. I use the One Size On Till Dawn mattifying setting spray. This stuff is getting really popular on like TikTok and YouTube right now, so I'm glad to see like other people agree with me because this stuff is just amazing. I mentioned it in my 2023 favorites video too. It's just like hairspray for your face. I know that like kind of sounds a little bit gross, but it makes your makeup last so well. It's better than the Urban Decay All Nighter spray that everyone loves. This stuff is the bomb. All right, last final step is mascara. I always curl my lashes and I usually just use like a $3 lash curler that I find at Marshall's. I don't use anything fancy. But for mascara, I use the Thrive Cosmetics mascara. So this is a tubing mascara, and if you don't know what that means, basically it just makes little tiny tubes on each individual lash, and that kind of just means that it lasts better throughout the day. And since it's a tubing mascara, it doesn't flake off in those little dry pieces that you sometimes get. It doesn't smudge, but the best part is it comes off really well with just warm water. So it stays on really well, but it doesn't require a lot of like scrubbing like waterproof mascara does, so you don't end up like ruining your lashes in the long run. This stuff, it's a little more expensive. It's about $25 a tube, and I never in my life would have thought like spending $25 on a mascara would be worth it. I think a lot of drugstore mascaras for $8 are pretty great. But then I tried this stuff and it's pretty life-changing. It really, really lengthens your lashes. It separates them beautifully. It gives you that like nice, long, fluttery lash look. So this stuff is definitely worth checking out. After just kind of one coat of the mascara, you can already see like how lengthened and separated my lashes look. A little tip, if you want to build up your mascara, always give it a few seconds in between going in with a second coat. Or if you are impatient or just don't have the time, if you have a dry mascara wand, so like after I've used this up and it's dry, then I'll kind of wash off the wand and I keep it, and then I'll go back in between coats and brush it with the dry wand to kind of help dry out the first coat before going in with the second coat. I know that sounds a little weird, but I've done that for probably like, I don't know, how old am I? Maybe 15 years, and it's always worked really well for me having a like dry mascara wand lying around to kind of brush in between coats. I'm gonna go back in with the second coat, and then I will show you just how long and pretty my lashes look just because of this mascara. Okay, so that's basically what I do on an everyday basis. I did want to mention, lately I've been like liking to throw on a lip gloss most days. I kind of just find that it elevates my look just a tad bit more and it makes me feel like a little bit nicer. So I just wanted to mention my few favorites that I pretty much just keep in my purse at all times. So first one is the NYX Fat Oil Lip Drip, and I have the shade Missed Call. It's kind of this like nice, just barely tinted lip oil, and it's got this really nice plush applicator. Nothing crazy, it's not plumping or anything like that, but it does make your lips look nice and smooth and glossy. The other one I've really been liking is from the In Beauty Project lip oil, and this is the shade Candy Apple. So same kind of thing, it's like a really just kind of barely tinted red with a nice plush applicator. Nothing too crazy. The nice thing about this one from Sephora, the In Beauty Project one, is that it has a really nice smell to it, like strawberry-esque, and it reminds me of lip smackers from when I was like 12, so that one's always fun. And then the third one that I'll kind of sometimes throw on, this is the Maracuja Juicy Lip Plump, and it's this little like lip pen that you kind of click up from the bottom and the gloss comes out. And this one's a little bit more tinted, so this is enough to like kind of cover your lips, and this is very plumping, so it will really smooth out the lines in your lips. It's got a little bit more color to it, and it's definitely very glossy, so I like all of them. Just kind of wanted to mention those. I'll throw on this Maracuja one really quick just so you guys can see. These Maracuja ones specifically, I found these on sale at Ulta last year, and I got them buy one get one free. So I know the Ulta sale is probably coming up sometime around March or April, so keep an eye out for those. Don't buy them full price if you don't want to. Just kind of wait for the sale. These are a really good item to check out at the Ulta sale. But that is my everyday makeup look. Very quick, very simple, very easy, very comfortable to wear. Nothing too crazy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you take any recommendations, any tricks, anything like that, let me know. I always love to hear if it worked for you or if it didn't work for you. Just, I would love to know. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!